for the adventurous traveler because nothing in the country is more than a 5-hour drive away. That is, if the roads are passable. You can visit Costa Rica's many active volcanoes or explore the rainforest to catch a glimpse of the country's teeming wildlife.
The land here is so valued that almost 30% is protected from development by both government and private investors. But despite its lush surroundings, there is a large North American influence here with modern architecture and no shortage of fast food restaurants. But the city still has a flavor all its own.
No tiene dificultades, son nuestros amigos. El extranjero aquí se halla muy bien con la gente buena de Costa Rica.
The people of San Jose are very united. It's very easy to make friends here, and strangers or foreigners are very welcome.
Bienvenido a San Jose.
Muchos restaurantes, teatro, cine.
They're very cozy people, and there's also a lot to do here in San Jose. There are lots of theaters, and there are restaurants, and there's a lot to see and do.
Y aparte de eso, pues caminar, ir a recrearse un rato en los parques.
When he's not working, aside from being a judo instructor and all kinds of other things, he likes to enjoy the natural beauty. He'll go to the beach, or he'll go to a close mountain, or he takes walks here in San Jose and visits the different parks. If I were to describe Costa Rica to someone that's never been here, I would say that Costa Rica looks like the pages of a fairy tale book. In Costa Rica, there is no military. They haven't had an army for decades, but they do have socialized medicine.
Es su
Ya
trabajo.
están nuestros compañeros.
Es su trabajo. Estar en la calle tomando la presión.
This is very interesting.
Yeah.
They're here on the street taking people's blood pressure, taking people's heart rate, and if anyone gets hurt or if anyone passes out because of the heat, they're there to help. They're saving lives.
Truly the strangest welcoming thing I've ever gotten in a country has to be this doctor that came up to take my blood pressure while I was in the middle of a downtown park here in San Jose. Here we go. It's tight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally already. Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, yes.
How are you?
I'm perfect.
Are you healthy?
I'm
¿Cómo
perfect.
estoy?
120, 80, One night over 80, perfect.
How is that? I'm okay?
Oh, it's perfect.
All right. I checked our heart rate and our blood pressure and said we were okay. Aquí afuera, ¿no? En las calles. They work with a government organization on the streets, and they help all kinds of people, even tourists. He says even gringos.
What a great way to welcome me to a city and a country. To greet you on that day and say, welcome, you're in perfect health. Like many metropolitan areas, San Jose can be congested and noisy, but behind all the smog and shopping malls, there are some real gems, like the Mercado Central, a market where you can find a wide variety of foods and crafts, and as Barbara found out, you never know who you'll meet.
I went to the Mercado Central, which is a famous market in San Jose. You can find anything there. They have stalls of fruit and vegetables and fish and meat and clothing and crafts. Hola. ¿Qué tal? I met a really interesting man that was selling herbs. I noticed that he had several different cards with recipes for health and for love. He had some for, the kidneys and stomach problems and headaches, and I was just interested by it. I'm asking him if he has any potions for love, and he said he does have a love potion, and it's also for good luck and for good health, or for feeling good. So I'm going to see if he'll teach me how to mix one of these. ¿Me enseña? Sí, dime el nombre de la hierba, ¿eh? 7 hierbas. He's calling this 7 grasses, or 7 herbs, and it smells amazing.
Ruda.
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 This is called ruda, and I have no idea what it is, but it also smells really good. He's been at this food for 15 years, and he learned this art or this trade from his grandfather and his father. Put it all in a bag for me, and then put a little perfume in a bag, and said, mix this up, and you're gonna have some love in your life. Y por fuera también.
Por fuera y por dentro.
Oh, ya veo. Okay, so once I've mixed this potion, I'm not going to feed it to someone. Someone won't drink it. I'll just spread it all over my house. I'll spill it on the floor and maybe even spill it outside. And I guess, entonces el aroma del amor o el bienestar está en el aire, ¿no?
Exactamente, sí, la fragancia que suelta.
Ah, so the fragrance and the essence of love will be sort of in the environment or in the air in your home. There's a pretty large community here of spiritualists or witch doctors. I mean, there's even a community called Escazú where a lot of them live. Johnny Overlander. Health, money, and love. That's what I need. When you walk into a fortune teller's office, you don't expect to see what I saw at Johnny's office. There was a fax machine, there were phones, there were products for sale. It was a big operation. Johnny was a character. He wears a big gold earring in one ear, and he was wearing blue pants, pleated. He was wearing blue suede shoes that I absolutely loved, and he was just a real character. As far as he can remember, he's had these powers of sensing and seeing things that other people don't sense and see.
Y en la familia querían que yo fuese un sacerdote porque mi familia es muy religiosa.
Nos enseña en cámara. He was born with 6 fingers on each hand, and he was operated on it, and then it started to grow again, and it was operated on again. He's a Scorpio, and he feels that already people that are Scorpios have that certain sense that they can see and feel things that they can't talk about. His family wanted him to go to be a priest because they're very religious people. He obviously became a priest of another kind. Then he pulled out the nest of a macua, and basically a macua is like a hummingbird that's native to these parts. The word has gotten out, and people from all over the world come to get this nest.
Agregarle a 7 perfumes. Si es mujer, 7 perfumes de mujer.
He recommends
perfumes buenos, finos. Buenos.
He recommends that I add 7 drops of different perfumes to this nest, to this little sample of nest. Very good, fine perfumes. He also explained that when a woman is menstruating, she's not to handle the nest or the potion because she'll ruin the concoctions.
Entonces yo le recomiendo que le agregue pedacitos de oro.
De oro.
De oro.
If you want the potion to work for money and not love, just add pieces of gold to it. I've asked him if he recommends that I take a piece of the nest, and he said he absolutely does. He says with a little faith and a little bit of care, I should do very well with this piece of nest. He says that in God's name, everything is possible.
We'll attack the white waters of Costa Rica next on Travelers!
In the space of a very short drive outside of the city, you can be whitewater rafting or hiking in the rainforest or doing any number of outdoor activities.
And one of the really cool things that we had heard about was going whitewater rafting on this place, the river, very famous river for whitewater rafting called the Rio Aguare.
Okay, guys, ready for this adventure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we have your equipment, life jacket.
Okay.
First.
One size fits all?
Yep.
Okay.
What made you decide you wanted to do this for a living?
Well, I don't do this for a living. I do this for fun.
Oh.
He quickly gives us the safety talk of what we need to know. We get the helmet on, we get the life jacket on, then he tells us very quickly what commands he's going to be shouting out.
So I'm gonna call high side left. You should know that when I call right back, left side goes forward. First, the right way to grab the paddle is like this. This is the wrong way. And if it's left back, right side goes forward.
Any chance of falling out of the boat?
Just 200%.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so the boat is gonna start going up, this side going down. Okay, how I'm gonna paddle forward? Like this, forward. This is the way. I'm going here, holding the rope, and I'm gonna stay here as long as necessary. That's basically about the safety stuff. Do you guys have any question?
What about if you don't remember most of that? I figured I'm going to take a lovely ride on the river and let Foster and Lisa do all the work.
Okay, guys, paddles up. First one, paddles up.
I realized when we hit the first rapid and my face went flying into Foster's oar, take a look at the bump on my chin, that just wasn't going to work.
We also had in our boat a man named Avi who was shooting us. He is like crazy, I'll do anything for the shot cameraman. And at one point in time while he's taping, we hit some bump and Avi goes flying over Alex's head, heading straight towards the water. And Alex said he had to reach out and just grab him and pull him back into the raft.
One of the coolest things that we saw when we were out there was Mario, who is the safety kayak.
But I found out from Alex that he is also training for this big kayaking competition coming up. So every chance that he had, he was shooting ahead of us, doing all these elaborate tricks. We go through these rapids, we come out, and then he says, okay, everybody, turn to the right, turn to the right. And the next thing we know, we're in the middle of this torrential waterfall, just pounding like hammers on my head. And he's making Barbara move over underneath the waterfall, and I could just hear her screaming in my ear. And then the waterfall pushes us back out, and I look over, and poor Barbara's face, she's just in shock. As she told me a little bit later, she said she was still trying to process that 10 minutes later.
It's just like such an intense day. It was such an intense experience, and there were parts where it was raging. There were parts where we were just flowing and there weren't any rapids, and it was gorgeous and it was peaceful and it was still.
And you can just hear all of this life making all this noise in the woods. And I just sat back while everyone else was talking and just closed my eyes and just listened. It may surprise you, but this could be your next cup of coffee. We'll find out more next on Travelers. Finding your way around San Jose can be confusing at first, but I found the streets are laid out in a very logical way. Odd-numbered streets, or calles, are east of Calle Central. Even-numbered ones are west. Odd-numbered avenues, or avenidas, are north of Avenida Central. Even-numbered ones are south. So, if you live at Calle 15, Avenida 3/7, you're in the northeast part of the city. Got it? No? Well, the other way to get around, and the most popular way, is to just take the bus. And Lisa found out it's a colorful experience.
So I'd heard about this phenomenon where they paint local scenes or country scenes on a lot of the buses. Even something as practical as a city bus, they're taking it and turning it into sort of a work of art and something of interest. In Costa Rica, this is how you flag down a bus. Hola! So when I got on the bus, I introduced myself and he said, I'm Luis Ricardo Abarca para servirle. I'm here at your service. And he was so friendly and so nice. But it was an hour before he started work. So it was great. I felt so privileged because I had the chance to get sort of a private tour.
Aproximadamente un poquito más de un año de tenerlo en vuelo.
He's driven a bus for 13 years, and he's driven this particular bus for a year. He was very excited to be able to have, one of the painted buses, and he just thought it added a nice flavor to the bus. Y tiene muchos amigos, sin decir.
Ah, sí, claro, hay montones.
I asked him if he has a lot of friends, and he said, yeah, of course, I have tons of them.
O sea, gente de todos lados, ¿verdad? Como decir, hospitales.
He mentioned also that all different walks of life get on this bus, and he said from the Supreme Court justices to college professors to hospital doctors, because even if they don't commute on the bus, they go within the city on the bus many times.
Familiarizando con la gente.
He said it's a lot of fun to drive a bus like this. You get to meet a lot of different people, and then it sort of becomes like a family. And when one of the persons doesn't show up, then he'll ask, one of the other passengers, hey, where's so-and-so? Why isn't he here today? And so it's really like a family feeling for him.
Así poco a poco los han ido pintando estos.
See, most of the buses are painted white, maybe with a stripe or something, but they had the idea to paint some of the buses with different animals and different scenic things, and this is one of the buses that they first painted. ¿Qué significa el Josco?
El Josco nosotros tenemos conocido aquí como, digámosle.
And on the bus it says El Josco, and he explained to me it's sort of a slang term for a particular color of the bull or of horses when you can't quite tell if it's brown or maroon or a little bit orange. They call it El Josco. It's very typical of the Costa Rican people because they are very colorful and they are at the same time very down to earth and very warm. Gracias, José.
Mucho gusto.
San Jose and Costa Rica owe much of their wealth to their massive coffee industry. Costa Rican coffee became known all over the world when in the early 1800s, a legendary English seaman coming from Seattle, Washington, stopped in port to find a ballast for his boat. He proceeded to load 500,000 pounds of coffee into his hold and inadvertently opened the Costa Rican market to the world. Today, Foster found that the Costa Rican coffee industry is far from history.
So you really like Costa Rican coffee?
So far, so good. We're going to go see where it's made?
Absolutely. We're going to see all the coffee fields and how it's processed.
Great. I met Arturo at our hotel, and he said he was going to take me out to a town called Sarchi where I could get the best cup of coffee. Hola.
Bienvenidos sean al beneficio La Eva.
We meet Miguel, who works at the plantation and was going to give us a tour of the entire process of how the coffee is made.
Tengo 24 años de trabajar con esta empresa.
He's been working for the last 24 years.
Wow. So you've made a lot of coffee.
Que si ha visto suficiente café.
Bastante. Bastante. A lo que es el proceso.
When he was a kid, he used to be a coffee picker. As sometimes tough work, depends how steep the hills are. And so after that, he's been involved into the process of the coffee beans.
I see. Should I go? So he told us that there are three main types of coffee that they grow on the plantation. Sarchi, Sarchimora, and Cartura.
And when this is dry, you break it, and inside is the bean that's going to be roasted and grained for coffee.
He did tell us that when they do get red, you can pluck them off. You sort of suck on it like candy, and it's supposed to be sweet. It's sort of sweet. Yeah.
Some are sweeter than others.
Yeah.
But it's quite candy taste. But
Yeah.
not like coffee.
It's candy and vegetables. It tastes like very green.
Very green.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't taste or smell
It doesn't taste like coffee at all.
Coffee at all.
And then they take the bean itself inside and just set it out in the sun to dry for hours. So this looks like everything's drying out here. This is where it dries.
In a nice sunny day in the wet season.
I see.
Y se vaya abriendo.
This is a process is called rayado, or I would say it in English, like raking to turn over the beans so they rust under this nice sunlight.
I thought if it rained, they would take some tarp or something and put it over it. But he said, no, it doesn't really soak up any of the water, and they just let it sit back out in the sun, and it eventually does dry. Do you have any coffee that's made from here that's brewed that I can actually drink right now? And he said, well, they actually take these beans, ship them off to other people who then roast them and package them. They do roast a small amount of beans in and then grind them up. So I'm thinking coffee plantation, they're gonna have this beautiful espresso machine or something enormous, something so, I don't know, wonderfully elaborate. Now we have to just wait for this to brew, right? I usually like my coffee with some cream or some milk, but he was saying, no, the best to go with coffee is powdered milk. Oh, he's already got his own, probably got his, I thought he was gonna have one with his name on it. Or one that says world's greatest dad or something. It's very good, very fresh and chocolatey almost.
I like it black because you have better flavor of the coffee. You know, when you add cream, kind of change a little bit.
All right, well, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Mucho gusto.
I'm just gonna sit down and, well, I was gonna sit down. As soon gonna sit down and enjoy my cup. Got a paper or anything?
We'll swing through the canopy.
Next on Travelers.
Despite its tiny size, Costa Rica is a world leader in wildlife conservation. Its natural diversity attracts nature lovers from all over the world. Barbara and Lisa had an opportunity to get a closer look from way up high.
Barbara and I had heard about this canopy tour, and we wanted to find out what it was all about. So we drove about 2 hours outside of San Jose, and we met with a man, Darren, who basically patented this technique for seeing the canopy in the rainforest.
So what exactly is a canopy tour?
Well, a canopy tour is an idea that I got back in Canada, where I'm from, after hearing about the plight of the tropical rainforest. Heard that there were so many people coming down here to see the tropical rainforest, but very little of the money that was spent on tourism was used to actually help save the rainforest. So I came up with this idea to take tourists up into the tops of the rainforest and give them a chance and opportunity to see what's going on up there. And then at the same time, channel some of the money back into things like education, reforestation, and conservation.
He moved here from Canada about 5 years ago and invented this form of recreation and adventure. And basically, he just drew upon his experience as a child. He loved to build tree houses as a kid, and so he decided that he was going to come to Costa Rica, help save the rainforest, and at the same time do something he loved, which was play up in the trees.
See, this was my second one that I built. It's 3 platforms, and it's in a piece of primary jungle. It's going to take about half an hour to walk there, and I think it looks pretty nice out, so I think we should probably get started.
All right.
What do you think?
Sounds
Ready?
great, yeah.
Okay, let's go for it.
We saw cutter ants, and we saw all kinds of beautiful ferns and trees and heard birds. We didn't see a lot of wildlife, but he said that's totally normal because normally they come out at night, or when they see or hear people, they are very good at not being around.
The hike was really tough for me because I was sick and it was not an easy hike. The forest was so hot and it was so humid. It was very shady, but at the same time it felt so humid that there was no air in the air, I kept saying. Well, when we finally got to the platforms, and I looked up and saw how high these were, I was pretty shocked.
All right, am I ready?
Yeah, come on up.
Okay. So I have to take a step.
No. Grab onto the ladder well, the other
Okay.
hand. That's it. You move that up.
All right, climbing for dummies.
Now, if I fall from here,
You can't fall.
I'm safe, right? I
Can't
just
fall.
dangle.
That's right. The whole tour has been designed so you can't fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you slip from that platform right now, you'll just hang.
Yes, that's exactly what would happen.
I didn't really think too much about it, so I just climbed the first platform, and when I got up there and looked to the next platform and how exactly, and Darren explained to us how exactly we were going to get to the next platform, that's when I started to panic.
So he's attached in 2 harnesses. He's attached to both ropes.
Yeah, that's right.
He makes it look very easy.
It is.
Let go.
What do you mean, let go? What do you mean by let go?
It's perfect. Well, she was breaking herself a little bit too much.
This is not normal here, you know? You're on platforms 100 feet up in the trees, and you have to swing from one platform to the other. And I'm not supposed to be scared? Can you do this with me? Darren, I'm shaking.
Taking a shot of this.
Okay. Move right up to here.
Or two.
To the other side.
Oh. Na 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 na. I didn't see you put that contraption on for everyone else. Did you? Okay.
Yes, I did. Okay, step down.
Darren was like the dad. And he kept looking at me in the eyes, and he had this really soft, soothing, but firm voice. And he was saying to me, "You're going by yourself. You're going now. Are you sure you can't go across with me?"
Yes. I'm gonna make you go across by yourself. Because you're a big girl, and it's time to overcome your fears.
I have nothing. Can you come across with me?
We've been through this.
There's been a little delay here.
Is anyone taking bets?
What, am I crazy? How did I let you talk me into this? I don't know if I can do this.
You can.
I don't think I can do this.
Just sit in the harness.
Put my feet up.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna
No.
push me out or anything. I'm gonna tell you, okay, I've got my feet up. I feel comfortable. Now I'm going.
Yeah.
But if I put my feet up and I don't feel comfortable, I'll stand back up on the platform, okay?
Okay. Terror in the skies. Go. Go.
Not too fast. Halfway through the trip, if you could call it that, I realized, oh, this isn't so bad. The view from up there is absolutely beautiful. You can see the rainforest from a completely different perspective. We saw people down below that looked like they were about this big. Looking from the second platform to the third, when you're looking straight over, it looked like the third platform was lower than the second platform. But then you looked at the tree that it was on, and it looked like it was gigantic. Wait, don't let me go yet.
I got you.
Okay.
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 You ready?
Uh-huh. We decided we wanted to go to the third platform because we really had no choice.
She nailed it.
When I got to the third platform, I was looking for the steps to get down. And then he explained we were going to do something called rappelling, as if I hadn't been challenged enough that day. What do I do with this arm?
This is just, use this hand just to keep your face and body away from your pelvis. Okay, yeah, you're on your own.
Wow, Bart, this is weird.
Just let it slide through your hand. All three of us are working on it.
Okay.
Sit. You can go faster than that. What did you think?
Oh my God, it was great.
Oh, glad you liked it.
After the fact.
After the fact. So you ready for some iguana now?
Yeah.
Well, I thought the whole adventure was over, but then before I knew it, Darren walked us over to his iguana collection. Next on Travelers.
You guys are probably wondering up till now why they call this Iguana Park.
Before I knew it, Darren walked us over to his iguana collection, or the park's iguana collection.
So what they do here is they breed the iguanas. Let's see if there's a baby one we saw crawling around here before. They're only about this big.
Darren explained to us that what happens in the wild, an adult iguana can have about 42 eggs in a lifetime. Well, out of those 42 eggs, maybe only 1 or 2 will actually live.
See, the whole idea, again, is not only to breed them, save them from extinction, but the fact is that as opposed to things like cattle, where you have to deforest and you have to cut the land down for pasture, iguanas require trees. So the farmers who want to breed iguanas for food and for leather, not only are saving them from the danger of extinction, but they also have to reforest their property.
After the iguana tour, we got a tour of a macaque conservation project at the same park. A woman named Dagmar runs the project and owns the land.
Macaques are on Appendix 1 in CITES, which means they're in immediate danger of extinction. They have a distribution from Mexico to Paraguay to Peru and also to Brazil. But everywhere they are getting scarcer and scarcer because of deforestation, and the immediate danger is poaching. Walter, in order to prevent the extinction of the reproductive colony of the macaws, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy is doing a rescue program with us in which we rescue the eggs or baby chicks from the nests, raise them, and release them as the ones you just saw flying by.
She literally becomes the mother of these macaws. From the time they're tiny eggs to the time they're these gorgeous, beautiful, majestic scarlet macaws.
I heard that you can call them and they'll
Yes,
come.
yes, they will come.
Really?
Yes.
Dagmar was calling them over while we were there so that we could see her children. And it was just beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
Crack, crack. Crack, crack. Crack. Wild ones. Wild ones. Wow. 8 parejas.
Smart are they?
They're smart as 5-year-old children. They're extremely intelligent.
What makes you say that?
That's scientifically shown, because they can resolve tasks just like 5-year-old children.
So we came for the canopy, and in addition we got the iguanas and scarlet macaws. Oh, it was a great day, yeah.
We'll get pampered by the volcano. It's beautiful. That's incredible.
Wow.
Next on Travelers.
Three of us went on this road trip to see this volcano here in Costa Rica called Arenal. So it was this long road trip, so along the way we decided to stop in this little town and just have a look around, just to have a little rest stop in the middle of our trip. And we saw this incredible garden of, all I can think to describe them are as shrubbery sculptures. I thought this place was really funny and fun because I would look at certain things and go, okay, I think I know what this is. I think that's a dog, or I think that's a monkey, or I think that's a plane, but I'm not really sure.
I heard that the gardener that created the topiaries and keeps them up is an old man that's been doing it for decades. He supposedly gets his inspiration from God.
So we get back in the bus to continue our journey, and we're going through some beautiful scenery in the back country of Costa Rica. So when we finally get to the observatory, we discovered that the volcano is completely surrounded by clouds. We cannot see the volcano at all. So that's when Barbara and Lisa decided to go to a spa, which was pretty nearby, and I decided to talk to Henry, who's the manager of the place. Henry, this is not good.
No.
I mean, I've come to the observatory and the volcano's not there. It's shy today. Does this happen often?
Well, they're having a low pressure in the Caribbean, and that's affecting the weather here right now in Arenal. So we have had it for the last 4 weeks now.
Que si gusta los podemos ver aquí en la lista de precios que tenemos en los brochures.
Did you understand all the different treatments they had? I think I understood most. The hot water spring bath, facial, massage. ¿Y qué más?
Body mud wrap.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to have a facial. What are you going to have?
I would love to have a massage.
The Arenal volcano is about 6,000 years old. It's a pretty new volcano. It's a tectonic volcano from movements of plates. The Cocos plate is moving under the Caribbean plate. And this friction, this heat, the Arenal is like a chimney, a relief from this pressure.
Where is this mud from? Where does it come from?
It's from Costa Rica, from volcanic area. It's very great in mineral.
So it's from the volcanoes?
Really good eruption, especially this evening. Anytime now it should be happening.
All right, so not only do we not have an eruption, but we can't even see beyond the trees right here.
Oh, Pastor, we can't even see the grass.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'll work on it more next time. The clouds are parting. It's erupting. Wow.
It's beautiful. That's incredible.
Wow. That is unbelievable. In the end, we just ended up watching a recording of the volcano exploding on videotape. We tried to be as excited about that as possible, but in the end, it's just not the same.
San Jose is a big city, but I found that it has sort of a small town feel, didn't you guys think? I mean, didn't you tell me that you met a bus driver that knows everyone on his route, and if somebody doesn't show up, he worries for them?
Yes, and when I was in the bank, there was a customer in there, and he made sure that before he left, he said goodbye to every one of the tellers in there. But you know, I think one of the best ways to sum up the way the Costa Rican people are, they have a saying, it's pura vida.
What does that mean?
Well, literally translated, it means full of life, but they use it to mean I'm terrific, life's great, everything's wonderful.
You know what's the other thing that's wonderful about this city? Is I love how it is this perfect hub to get to all the adventure of Costa Rica. Don't you think?
Yeah. There is a lot of adventure to be had here. You can see the Atlantic and Pacific coast in one day.
But that is all we're going to see for this day. We'll see you next time on
Bye.
Bye.
Up next, they're the fastest fighters around. High-speed planes and war-stopping jets come alive on wings. Then it's the ultimate do-it-yourself show. Learn tricks of the trade know-how. Professional home repair made easy on Gimme Shelter.